And I had an interesting research the other day where they did a research under virtual employees, and almost 60% of the people that was employees indicated that they feel their leaders should improve their skills to lead virtually. So employees are really feeling it if we are struggling as leaders in terms of that. But what does it take? One, flexibility. You have to be flexible in terms of how you work and when you work. Some of your team members will be better in the morning, some will be better in the afternoon. When do you schedule your meetings? Is it consistently on the same time? Do you swap it around to keep the energy going? What is it about? Is it just work, or can you also be flexible in terms of having just chat sessions? Do we have a 30-minute a day or a week or every 2 weeks where we as a team come together and we just chat? We talk about the weather and about the rugby that's not taking place, whatever that is. But you have to be flexible in your approach. And that's a key skill that's coming out now as a virtual leader, is in terms of how we need to understand that our teams are there to produce a specific outcome, but because they're not in the office, they're working on their own. I need to be flexible in how I manage them, how I communicate to them, how I approach them. There's not a one stroke for everybody anymore. We have to realize as leaders that we need to be flexible in our leadership style and our leadership approach. Some people need a bit more checking in, other people need less. Some people need a bit more recognition, other people need less. Some people need to have more definite goals and milestones, others not. And you have to be flexible in terms of managing and understanding those two things. The other one is we have to work on trust. Trust, if we don't have trust in the team, because trust is a bit down, and when we are virtually leading, I see a lot of managers and leaders resorting to micromanaging. Want to check everything. There's so many forms and so many that and so many that, and you have to report and send me reports. And then people are sitting back and saying, but doesn't my leader trust me anymore? This was not how it was when I was working at the office. So we have to get our team. And as team leaders, we need to know how to provide employees with what they need to reach their outcome, but also trust them that they will do what they will do. So you have to think about, how do I restore trust? And how do I show that I'm trusting my employees? Communication, I've spoken about it quite a lot already. You must communicate effectively. And use the technologies well. Videos, focus sessions, coffee sessions, all of those type of things. Your communication must be focused on a specific person, specific topic, specific something that you would like to achieve. Remote workers actually need a bit more communication. They need a bit more feedback. They need a bit more guidance than people sitting at the office. Because there they can chat and check with each other also. Now they're struggling with that. So as a leader, you may need to focus and say, but let me just focus my communication a bit more on that. I'm not checking in, but I'm there to guide. I'm there to give feedback. I'm there to give recognition. Important element. And the last one, I think, is you have to be tech savvy. As a leader, you need to know how to use the platform, how to share screens, how to have a whiteboard if you can, how to get polls going, how do you use the videos, and how can you use technology to bring in showing videos and having team games and all of those. So that is some of the important elements that I've found over the past couple of months that's coming out in terms of requiring us as leaders to be effective in this space. Also think about your style. Your style impacts the way you lead remotely. Are you recognizing people and their achievements? It's difficult. You can't pat someone on the shoulder, but you have to be actively recognizing achievements. Make sure that you still praise people and compliment them. Be proactive about staying in contact. Schedule it. Make sure people understand that you're in contact and why you're in contact. It's not to check on them, but it's to make sure that we are involved and that we are collaborating and that we're engaged. You have to actively motivate your employees. Today I can feel okay. Tomorrow as an employee, there's something going on. The electricity got to me, or a friend got sick, or my mother, I can't see her for the past 2 months. It gets to me. So tomorrow I'm stressing and I'm not in a good space. But how do I motivate my employees continuously, every day? Having a once a week interaction with your employees, not enough. Performance, you have to be comfortable in terms of how you set and track outcomes. How do you track performance? And don't do it from a one-sided perspective. Talk to your employees. What do they want? What will work for them? Let them come up with a way that they want to set out an objectives and share it with you. Those are tricks that I've seen that works quite well, and it gives the accountability to the employee. Remember, coaching is a key skill, but you have to push back the accountability, and then let them share and put your inputs there. And then I think one of the last things is to be realistic. We tend to have unrealistic expectations of employees in terms of their time, in terms of what they can do. A leader the other day made a comment and said, yeah, but they don't travel anymore from wherever they came. There's 4 hours extra in the day. We need to use that better. That is not the right attitude at this stage, because, I mean, people do have a life. We need to make sure that they're still working hours. We're still bound by the Basic Conditions of Employment Act. And how do I have that expectations? Do I expect you to be on a call at 6 in the morning? For me, that's ludicrous. I don't even know why would somebody do that. Some people said we're on the calls at 9 in the evening. We're still on the telephone at 11:30 in the evening. Guys, it's not realistic. We are impacting on people's lives, on their mental ability, and their own state of mind. So as leaders, please be careful around that and look at how your style is coming over virtually. Because I see leaders that once we go virtual, our styles change. Some become very in their shell. They go into a hiding. Some other people are overbearing. Some become very task-driven because I need to check on everybody. Just be aware of that. It takes a different mindset. It takes a different attitude. I'm going to run through some quick tips that I've picked up. I'm not going to go through all of them. I think they're quite self-explanatory. You have to give employees a sense of belonging. That is something that I picked up over the last few weeks and months that really is the number one for me. How do I give them a sense of belonging? Bring everybody on board. Tell them they're valuable. Make sure they connect. And not just you connect with them, but encourage the team to connect with each other. Set up coffee sessions. But make sure that they belong. Show them they're valuable. Ask for their input. Get them on board. When we have a meeting, I see a lot of people that's on a call with their videos off and they are not participating. You can see the name on the list and that's it. We have to bring people and give them that sense of belonging. It's important for you to say, but listen, I need your input as well. What are you saying? How are you feeling around that? The other one is obviously clear goals. I think people are a bit unsure at this stage. Make sure that what they need to deliver is clear. People need to show, okay, I'm happy. I understand what I need to deliver. Be very clear in your communication and your setting out of those goals and involve them. Get people to help you define that. Make sure what can we do? What can't we do? What changed? And how do we approach that in terms of giving that goals in there? Majority of people, I think, work better at home. There's enough information and proof to say that people actually work faster when they work at home because there's less coffee sessions. There's less distractions, maybe at home if you don't have kids running in all the time. But you have to set them up for success. Make sure you set your employees up for success in terms of what they can do. Remember, there's still going to be challenges around increases and bonuses, etc. Communicate regularly. I think I've exhausted that topic already. As much as possible, as focused as possible. Coffee sessions, check-in sessions. Have one-on-ones with team members and just have a cup of coffee and ask, how are you? Check in. Are they okay? Make sure that we share information regularly. Make sure that we give people the opportunity to give feedback. Not all people like to talk in groups, so you have to be aware of setting up maybe individual sessions where people can just give you feedback and where you check in on them. Check in frequently, we spoke about. Make collaboration more efficient. It's about being proactive around that and to make collaboration more efficient. And ultimately, why do you want to make that collaboration more efficient? Because that improves output, performance, productivity, all of those improves. So many employers are trying to improve how people work together. And we have to eliminate those things that impact collaboration. So encouraging people to chat and to get together and to work together and connect away from you, where they just chat, set up in a WhatsApp groups, do video calling, encouraging people to come up with their videos, etc. Those are some of the practical stuff that really came out for me in the last period. Put relevant information at their fingertips. It's part of making them successful. Make sure that they get the information they want. They've got access to folders and files and servers. I know there's a security issue, but make sure that is sorted out. People need to access information they need to do their job. You need to put that in place. Encourage continuous engagement. We spoke about that between you and them themselves as a team. But also, we need to engage with other departments. We're not working as silos, and we have to remember that. We are dependent on other areas as well. So are you setting up engagement sessions and the collaboration process with other areas? And maybe small at first, or just linking in a few people, inviting different people from the other areas, people to come in, inviting an HR person to come talk about what's going on in terms of the training situation. You don't have to do all of that. Invite people in. But that continuous engagement is quite important, and it's important across departments as well. Another one, make collaboration fun. Guys, there's a lot of tips currently, and we know don't just have to do work. When we have a session, build in 5 minutes. I've heard interesting stuff that people do is when they start off and they do a check-in and they say, people, okay, if you have one wish, what would it be? And everybody gets a chance to talk about their wish. And we laugh and we have fun. Or we ask them to go into the internet while they're there and pick a lookalike. Who's your celebrity lookalike? It's just that fun elements that you're bringing in. The most interesting one I had the other day is a leader saying, okay, everybody take your phone, take a picture of your shoes. Yeah, you heard people freaking out, but I don't have shoes on. That's okay. Send us a picture of your feet. That's fine. But making it fun and putting people a bit out of their comfort zone. Yeah, but I'm in my pajamas. We don't want your pajamas, we want your feet. Yeah, but mine is not, I've got my old tackies on. It's fine. It's about that, breaking the boundaries a little bit and saying, although you're in your own space, we're still a team. Let's have some fun, guys. Let's just see where we are in terms of that. And I'm telling you, these things work. People have a lot of fun in terms of just, and it's 5 minutes or 2 minutes. And what you can do is they can either share the photo on the screen for everybody, or they post it in our WhatsApp group, and everybody have a laugh and make comments. And then we move on. But then people are, I'm still part of this team. You know, it's still fun. I had another leader the other day. He went to the local Shell where they do these donuts, the new, what's this, Krispy Kreme. And we went to them and he asked the Uber Eats guys to go to all his team members, and they scattered all over Joburg. And he delivered 2 donuts to each one of them before the meeting. So when they met, they said, guys, we're going to have coffee and donuts. And I want to put on your video. I want to see you with your coffee and your donut. That's fun. That just, wow. And people feel engaged and they feel lekker about this. So guys, there's a lot of creativity out there. Use your own creativity, what works with you. Have a virtual lunch. I mean, nothing have to have you, of course, just people sitting together and having a lunch, sitting together and eating with the videos on, talking about anything. Empower your remote employees. Make sure that they can take decisions still. Don't take decision making away from them. There's certain stuff that they need to make decisions about. Do that. Keep it going. They are there for the job. You're paying them to do a job. And empower them to make the decisions. I'm not saying leave them over to their own and to the wolves, but if they've got an idea, support it if it's a good idea. Push them to implement it. Give them the recognition they need in terms of, but you can make the decision. This is in your space. All those things are important from that perspective. And one of the last ones I think is, guys, please forget about email communication. I'm not saying don't do it, but if you use email as the primary communication method, guys, you're going to kill collaboration, you're going to kill engagement. There's other ways. Use email for what it's intended to share information, to maybe alert, to schedule meetings, but rather communicate in person. I'm not saying it's not an email conversation is not something you can't use, but because of the remoteness, we can distort communication. And not everybody looks at the emails all the time. I've seen a spike in emails in the last 3 or 4 months. Everybody is CCing everybody and BCCing the 12 other people. Why? Why are we doing this? So please don't use email as your primary conversation tool. use it as a management tool as it's intended, but talk, engage with people. I think that's important.